Not necessarily from a national standpoint, but this is just one publication, Athlon's, when Steve made a comment about comparing Ohio State and just their positional units across the Big Ten. Athlon's has Ohio State ranked number one at every positional unit across the board. Then you get to linebacker. They've got the Buckeyes at number 2 to Wisconsin, and then number 2 at defensive back to Iowa. So there's the dominance over the conference.
Let me go ahead, Steve.
Go ahead, Tony.
Well, I do Big Ten ratings every year, positional ratings. I keep it East and West. This year, I went. I'm just finished up the quarterbacks. I went with Indiana over Ohio State because we know more about Indiana. I would be totally shocked if I wouldn't. I won't be shocked if Ohio State, if C.J. Stroud or whomever is the first team All Big Ten quarterback or the Silver Football Award winner. I just think you know more about Indiana's quarterbacks right now, and so for my picks, my ratings, I went Indiana number 1, Ohio State number 2 for now. But I think, we'll see what happens in September, October, November. But there's no proof. There's not enough evidence yet. And I had to do the same thing with when in 2019, Ryan Day's first year. I had to put Jim Harbaugh and James Franklin, rated ahead of him because we just didn't. He has no proof of life, basically, as a head coach other than those 3 games. It's the catch-22 of doing these sort of things.
The only thing I would throw out there, you talked about the linebacker group maybe being the second best in the Big Ten. Tony, I was talking to one of your cohorts there on the sideline at the camp, and he shall remain nameless, an old friend of mine that I've known a long time. And we were talking, and it just kind of, you always want to play the devil's advocate of, okay, this looks really good, and I'll be interested to see what do the folks out there who are listening think about this. And it's not a popular idea, but Ohio State's defense personnel wise may not be as good as it was last year. Now, the overall end result may turn out to be better, but when you take Tommy Togiai out of that group and Jonathan Cooper out of that group, and the 4 linebackers they're leaving out of that group, and Sean Wade, that's 5 or 6 guys who made a lot of plays. I think I'm missing one of the defensive ends who's gone as well. I can't think who else I'm missing, but at any rate, you're taking a lot of the key guys out of that defense, and you're really hoping that your linebackers are better than they were last year. And as Tony's friend, he put it very bluntly, said, what have I ever seen from Gant, Pope, Craig
Mitchell.
Young, whoever, Mitchell, to say they are going to be better than the group that they just lost? We don't know that. And so, it is what it is. But, perhaps the defense will be improved. I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
I think the linebacker situation, I'll see if I put them number 2 or not. I don't know. I got to look at everybody else. But the fact that they're still trying to bring in a transfer there or still talking about it, that's a red flag for me. And to look at now Teote, who has an injury history as long as, Justin Hilliard's almost, and you think that he's an upgrade, that to me is a concern, and it tells you where they are thinking or what they're thinking or where their concerns are.